It's not coming. Are we live? Yeah.
We're going live right now. It's in the process.
All right. I can't find it on your channel, but I'll keep refreshing your channel page
Be able to
until
find
it
it now.
comes up. Why are we here?
Yeah, we're live now.
How's it going, man?
Yep, we're live. We're live. We're not Memorex. So hello, everybody. Hang on a second. I'm trying to whatever. All right, where am I at here? There we are. This meeting is now being live streamed, Jack. So how are you?
I'm all right, dude. I'm still,
Jack's
as you would say, I'm still breathing and farting and burping, as you say.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sorry if you hear
How you doing,
notifications and whatnot. I'm on my phone, so I apologize ahead of time. My computer's on the brink or blink or whatever you want to call it. It's a piece of crap poop, and I'm working on getting another one. I'm all right, man. I've been working my butt off, being a stonemason, whatnot.
Stonemason or Freemason? I'm joking.
Well, I'm a stonemason under the illusion of being free. No, I'm just no, yeah, I'm a stonemason, and it's quite a skill and quite a honor to have that skill, in my opinion. So I'm happy to be a stonemason because it's my last name after all.
Yeah, I guess makes it easy, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. When destiny has that brings us to why we're having this talk today. So why are we here? You know, I know people are filing in because I didn't notify anybody I was having a live stream. So, you know, maybe we'll give our take on it, and maybe, I don't know. Why do you think we're here, Jack?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll answer it with a story of an event that just happened before this chat. So, but there's this show on TV on the BBC. It's called University Challenge. You know, Jeopardy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think how difficult the questions are in Jeopardy. It's like Jeopardy on LSD, University Challenge. It's ultimate trivia. And whenever I watch that show, I don't get any questions right, like some fucking thicko, dumb idiot sitting there watching it, you know. Mm-hmm. My mum gets loads of the answers. She pulls all these answers out. I'm like, how do you know? But it's very specific questions. You can get some answers, but anyway, the point is that you know, because like people try and guess and stuff, but I'm sure it's like, it's good to admit that you don't know something, especially trivia. Like, you don't really need to know trivia. This is my point, and why are we here? Trivia is not gonna, I mean, it can be fun, like, you know, discussing trivia with people in an intellectual way, but yeah, trivia does not like help you, really, does it? You have to think in terms of archetypes and patterns in reality, you know. So I think I think that I'm just still trying to sound clever, even though I'm really stupid. But
what you're trying to get at, I think, is you're saying that just simply talking about
I suck at the quiz night. I suck at the quiz night, Steve. I'm whack. I'm no good. There was even a few questions about the Apocrypha and the Bible, and one of the answers was about a daughter from this tribe. And my mum was like, "Oh, that's the Book of Ruth." I was like, "No, I swear that's not Ruth." And the guy's like, "Yes, Ruth is correct." I'm like, "Damn, I've read that book. It's a short book." But here's the thing: I read that book and totally understood what it was communicating. Now, I couldn't
first time ever.
Yeah, of course. But I couldn't answer a trivia question about it 4 years after reading the book with the name, because she's a slave. You got this. I can't remember the Book of Ruth, but the point is, yeah, I can't answer a trivia question about the Bible name like 4 years later. But I know what that book is saying. It's saying the same thing as every other scripture or mystical text says. And here we are again discussing that which has no discussion. Well, it's not that it has no discussion. But you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah, discussing the ineffable nature of what spirit is, you know, in itself, in the term ineffable, is indescribable or undefinable.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I wish more people were in the chat. It's good when the chat gets going, when they all start getting into it. You think we were like David Icke podcast or something, wouldn't you?
Not quite, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, if you know, if I had money attached to my channel, advertisement revenue, and I was in the algorithm graces, we'd have a lot more people and a lot more viewers, but that's not what I'm after. I'm after just sharing my story and helping myself, yourself, anybody to understand what reality is about. And
yeah,
I think that in and of itself is probably why I'm here, you know, to join other minds together, to, you know, just group to think things through without the dogma and the political backdrop, or even ideology of any kind, you know. I know I have my ideology of sorts, but, you know, I think we can only do so much for each other, but we can do everything for ourselves. And that in turn does it for the whole, I think. And, you know, the process of 5 through the template of 7 brings us to half of the day, 12 hours of day, which is what? 12 hours in God's light. No, I don't know. I'm just babbling on, just like you were, just trying to look.
No,
smart.
you're not a babbler. You're certainly not a babbler, Steve. That you aren't. Because that's the babbling in the abyss, isn't it? Really, a babbler. That's
a babbler.
Yeah, that's like the polarized political America, where the two sides are babbling at each other. Mind you, I do give the right more slack in this current zeitgeist, but yeah. Okay, do you know what, actually, Steve? I came up with a really bizarre theory the other day, and I was trying to do an Uber Occam's razor on the mess of the world. You know, I still, because you know me, Steve, I wrestle with the ideas of evil and try to understand what it is. I don't know if that's because I'm evil myself, or I'm not evil though. I'm not. I might have been an arsehole when I was a teenager, but you know, like, you really learn your moral compass is continually refined and like built upon, you know. But the point I was going to make, I was going to talk about this theory. It's a terrible theory, but I was like, wow, what if the real problem with planet Earth is that, like, collectively we've got parasitosis, which means an overinfestation of parasites. Like, what if all humans have got parasites? Because parasites, even how, like, bugs in nature, they mind control their host. They actually will mind control their host. This is nature's mind control in nature. It does exist. Like, without all the electronics and the 5G, whatever you want to call it, right? Are you following me here?
I'm following you. Yeah.
What if that's why people are psychopathic? They've just, like, had parasites and their childhood trauma formed a lot of stress hormones and toxins, which was a good favorable conditions for the parasites to, like, you know, take hold of the
Well,
host.
isn't that what a negative thought is in your mind, is a parasite?
Well, a negative thought form isn't necessarily parasitic.
Well, yeah,
Because a negative,
it can take hold and grow and even control you.
yeah, it's like what's that film, Inception, when he talks about an idea at the beginning of that film and how an idea can grow and grow. Well, look at the ideas of Karl Marx, how they've taken home and grown, and they're utter bullshit. I'm sorry, but they are. You can't try and manage humanity based on scientific technocracy. There has to be some calculation for emotion, you know.
Yeah,
it's not possible. It's not human.
So me taking ivermectin will probably get rid of that too then.
See, that's another point, because that drug is to get rid of parasites for horses, and it's like, so here's the other thing as well. Oh, that's it. Like, now you've said that, like, this is the end of your channel. This is the beginning of the end of this conversation. But think about it, right? Like, if you're going to have a demonic entity that would incarnate into the physical realm, a real nasty piece of shit spirit, right? And they do exist. Surely would it come to be as a parasite and just try and leech off others? You know, it makes sense.
Right, yeah. We can make anything make sense in our minds if we think about it long enough, and if we surround ourselves in an echo chamber, right?
Well, I've never investigated this line of thinking, and it's not substantiated or the contrary either. It's another exploration of the deep psyche, right? But because I read about this parasite, I don't know what it's called, but it lives in the cat and mouse cycle of their prey predator cycle, right? And it needs to grow in the cat's, like, intestines, basically, and it's like colon and stuff. That's where it, like, spawns, but it will actually, like, come out in the cat feces, infect the mice, and actually mind control the mice to be sexually attracted. It's disgusting, to the cat's urine. So so this mice is trying to bone the cat, and that's right.
And the cat eats the mouse.
And then the cat eats the mice. The cat's
I don't know why she swallowed the fly.
This is my point. See, look, Mensa says possession or parasite, but what if you're susceptible to possession because you've got parasites? And I saw this other thing, right? And this is like some kind of code in there. They were talking about how there's now a malaria vaccine. And I was watching about that, and I was like, hold on. Malaria is a cellular parasite. Have we gone down?
No, we're still, I got a call.
Your sound's modulating like a Bruno Mars track or something.
No, I was typing on my phone.
Yeah.
I had a phone call, and I'm on my phone right now because my computer is on the fritz. So sorry.
Yeah.
Now go on with what you were saying. Hello.
See, Mensa's saying his friend has been talking to him about this. What if I'm tapping into this? I think other people are tapping into this idea, Steve.
Yeah, but I mean, this is where you run into issues of, reality being askew because you think something to be true when or you're giving credence to something that is, even if it is true, it's kind of senseless for you to even delve into, because
but this is what I said to you at the beginning. I said I'm trying to investigate the nature of evil for my own purposes. I don't know why I do. But it's like the end of what that thing I showed you about the end of Planet of the Apes. That Simpsons the Simpsons stage. I sent you that video of the
Yeah,
Simpsons.
from chimpanzee to chimpanzee.
Yeah, it's the most esoteric Simpsons clip they ever made. When it's Troy McClure singing like that song at the end about how he sees they pull up the Statue of Liberty and he's like, oh, it's Earth all along. I'm
You
sure that
made a monkey out of me.
yeah, that one, yeah. I'm sure, right? Is that the realization of the fallen state? Because there has
the
to come
realization of you feeling like you've been made a monkey of.
yeah, that's eternal damnation though, because you're in the animal kingdom now.
I
That's
suppose, yeah. The perpetual loop of creation, yes.
yeah, it's the archetype of perpetual damnation.
Right. To touch on what you just said and what's been happening in my daily life recently is quite amazing. I have received a Bible, an old Bible from like 1840 something from my grandma.
Nice.
That documents the rise and fall of our ancestors, or one side of my ancestry. But anyway, it shows the marriage, birth of all their kids, and then the subsequent death of them and their children, and all the way up to 1918 or something. But anyway, my point is in this Bible, I seen imagery, which is one is the tabernacle, and one is the setup of well, anyway, it's the archetype of the tabernacle, which is the archetype of us, right? Where in the center of us is where the flame is born, or the flame intent, right? But the thing is I just got this Bible last night, just seen the pictures, the images on there, and guess where the images were today when somebody produced a Revelations video. In his video, the same images, dude. Very same.
Oh,
images.
what?
And I've never seen them before.
Oh, interesting.
And it's just like and these are the personal aha moments that drive you through the omnipresence of everything that is, but it's through a singular projection point, through a point source, creation within the creation, to steer you through the eye of the needle. You know what I mean? It's just weird how things can align in my perspective that, just keep driving me to the one thing, which is the point of my pyramid, right? The center of all things, where I reproduce the seed of the whole, because that's what we are in essence, is the seed of the seed, to produce the seed.
Right? It's a weird concept, isn't it? Yeah.
It's much more than the concept, but I believe that's why we are here, is for that process.
Oh yeah, no, undoubtedly that's the purpose of life, like
and
to recreate the creator.
We have to go through the muck or mud, like the lotus flower is born in. We have to go through the mire and turmoil and strife of life, which is the worst of conditions, to come out the other end smelling like a rose. The zero to hero story, right?
Yeah, heat and pressure in the formation of the diamond.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty cut and dry. Like at this point, I don't. Yeah, it's strange, isn't it?
Yeah, like the story with the friend's girlfriend. All of that stuff. That I told you recently. I told you about that, right? Yeah.
Did you? I don't think you did.
Yeah, well, my friend got a girlfriend. Me and him used to go fishing all the time together when I was living my life for Riley, as you would call it.
Right, right.
And then all of a sudden he gets a girlfriend, and he's obviously less time for the best friend. Which I'm not butthurt about it. I'm just whatever, even if I am. But the thing is this. He says, I got this girlfriend. Yeah. And I'll introduce you to her sometime. And he says her name, and her face flashed into my mind. And 3 days later, I meet her, and that image of her face was in context to where I seen her, like in the truck, dude. You know, the background imagery and everything was all the same. When the image
That's
flashed.
weird, man. That's
Yeah,
weird.
dude. Yeah. But anyway, he
Yeah,
says
you
her name
said
is
you said you
Yeah.
had a lot of synchronicities last week.
Yes, just one right after another lately. Just
Yeah,
crazy.
man.
Like that imagery in Phil's video, you know, that I seen in the Bible that I just got. You know, how the hell is that possible, dude? And it's like when I seen that movie A Star Is Born, you know, and then came across the cross alignment of January of 2020. And then what hits? You know, Corona. And you know, I mean, it's just one thing after another. It's just like, wow.
You said,
You know,
and then what hits? Corona. That's
yeah, that was
that's
on
like
January
yeah, but
13th, 2020.
but that's the last spot you hit up, isn't it? The Corona, crown chakra.
Yeah, exactly. And what does
That's
my
the
name?
last
What does
spot
my
you hit
name
up.
mean?
See, this is
What
the
does my
thing.
name mean?
Coronavirus.
Crown.
This is
Corona.
it is Earth hitting the crown chakra collectively.
Yeah.
That's why we're in the coronavirus.
Very, very well could be.
Fuck
It
knows,
could be
man.
nature's way of driving us back to the oneness that we are. Because when you fall, no, what it is the natural entropy of the system. You know, descending into chaos, because that's what an aging energy system does. The entropy increases, and you know, chaos ensues.
Yeah, all the consciousness has to become more and more like the Borg to survive. It's weird.
Correct.
There's an increasing movement, but you know, but then again, see, I'm thinking, where does rhythm come in context with the creation and dissipation of the cosmic cycle? But really, that is one scale of the rhythm, isn't it? That's 1 hertz of not 1 hertz,
CMB,
one cosmic hertz from one big bang to one big crunch. God, do we really have to incarnate in every one?
I don't know how that exactly works, but yet I do understand that things that seem familiar to me that come out of left field that I have no idea how I would know it, like the black hole information, you know, and how we're connected to it, and how all of that has fallen into my understanding, which, you know, to me it's profound, but to everybody else it's not going to be. But that's what makes it personal. You know, your personal plight or your personal path to God is, you know, God is personal yet omnipresent, right? Meaning the all is everything, and we recreate the all. I guess, you know. But let me tell you, so I've got one thing to say. So this is for one big horse, right? Yet 250-pound increments on the plunger. So, and this is one dose for one horse. And on it says do not consume. It's not for human consumption, like 300 times on the box. Yet it's in 250-pound increments. So thank you, horse gut dewormer supplier.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was my infomercial for shit I'm not selling, because I'm not selling shit, because shit is not what I sell. What I sell is nothing, because nothing I have is for sale, because I am not asking for anything in return for anything I do. All I'm asking for is for you to respect everybody and anybody that you come in contact with, because I think that is our only way out of whatever strife you find yourself in life in. So with that, buy yourself some horse paste. Get rid of the parasites within you.
Well, that's the thing as well. Here's the other piece of evidence that is on the thought domain to this theory. I swear there's a hive mind that has grown massively. I don't know if Facebook's responsible for that or socialist media generally, but there's a fucking hive mind, man, and I'm not part of it. And I swear, like my friends, I got a friend and his girlfriend is just like very woke and everything. And so is my cousin. And it's like, you know what these people believe already. You know, there's nothing original there. It's a takeover by a hive. You know, I swear, man, like Maybe that's why they're trying
What
to
if that?
shut.
What if that? What if,
Maybe that's the great plan, is to fucking give everyone fucking parasites in the jabs, and then starve us all so all the parasites die, and then we can get out of Kali Yuga. There are people moaning at anti-vaxxers about how they want to get out of pandemic. I want to fucking moaning at these people because I want to get out of fucking Kali Yuga, man. Like, don't give me shit about a vaccine. Like, stop being a like so. I don't know. It doesn't matter though. You complete the great work on your own. That's why we're here, isn't it? You don't need everyone else to do. There's no group. You don't complete it in a group, do you?
well, if you're a Kabbalist, you do. You have a group of 10.
Well, yeah, but like 10 people won't have a 10 people won't go through the mystical tribulation at the very same point in time from a unilateral path to it.
That's the point. You know, pun intended, is because I think that teaches you as a spiritual being having a physical experience that each perspective or point source is as relevant as the next, due to the fact that it all adds to our reality in a reciprocating form, like a magnetic field does, or you know, a hurricane, a galaxy, or an atom, or you know, all of it. You know, that's how you know, from atom to atom. You know, and
didn't I say to you last night on this point when we were texting? I said, like, the law of mentalism, the first hermetic law, can actually be quite dangerous. You know, it's like working with a volatile substance. If you don't do it correctly, it can blow up in your face. Because if that's like if you get caught in a negative thought spiral, it's gonna start.
Well, you end up like Alex Jones or David Icke, or you know, I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying that you end up caught up in this whole cycle of you know, things have got to get nuttier. You know,
that's it. That's it. I figured out the riddle of climate change. It's a riddle, like Bilbo Baggins and Gollum. It means the climate's changing, the political climate is changing, and it's changing towards an agenda. That's what it really means. That's it.
Yeah.
They've got all these people still blocking roads and shit in Britain, man. They get in the road, and they're old people. I mentioned this last time. They're like, I don't know. You've always got lunatics, though, people who are ideologically possessed. See, that is a reason why we're not here, Steve. Okay, let's go process of elimination on this shit. Like, why are we here? I can tell you some things why we're not here. Like, we're not here to get ideologically possessed. Unless you get the transformation from ideological possession in the realization that you were ideologically possessed and you sort your goddamn head out. That could be quite a spiritual or mystical thing. Deprogramming oneself from, I don't know, pick any ideology that people get possessed by. There's lots of them.
Anything that brings pleasure instantaneously has become an occult or a something to be followed or venerated or yearned for.
Well, look at all the fucking Trotskyites, man. Like, think about those people. Like, how can you have a plan to govern humanity when it's pure? It's only based on that which is temporal. There's no spirit. You know, this is why you need like a church and state. But the church is useless right now, isn't it?
No, I disagree with that. A church is a place for community to help each other out, and that's
true.
The function of a church is. So I'm not going to knock anybody's church because
I don't mean it like that. I don't mean it in that way.
Steve. Of our communities,
Steve, I don't mean it in that way though. Yes.
Well, I'm just making it clear how I feel about it. That's all.
No, it's particularly in America more than Britain with like Christianity. You know why? It's like there's Islamophobia, anti-Semitism. What's the word for anti-Christianity? There isn't one. It doesn't exist.
Pagan.
No, pagan is just
But in a
pagan is
Christian's
just,
mind, anti-Christianism.
you know, I consider myself a pagan, really.
Or an atheist.
Steve.
An atheist. That would be anti-Christian.
I don't know. There's this like YouTuber guy I watch. I think I've mentioned him before. People in the chat will know him. Stargon of a Cad. I sometimes watch his videos, right? And he's just like a political commentator. He commentates on the madness of the political zeitgeist, right? But here's the catch. He's a atheist, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't act like an atheist in his search for truth. He's an adamant atheist, and I think this is that might be it's a big problem in the world. Is well, maybe that's why Earth's such a mess.
We've fallen from our estate, dude. I mean, that's why it's called the fallen.
Yeah, it's all a mess, isn't it? I've said this to you before, man.
Isn't that the same as the cosmic inflation or expansion and recontraction and the T equals 0 state? I mean, it's the same thing in reality, in daily life, when we see the sun come up, when we see the sun at noon, and when we see the sunset. Same as our life pattern, same as the galactic pattern, same as the universal pattern. It's called universal for a reason.
What's up? Yeah, everything's good. How you doing? You're live on the internet. What? You're live on the internet. Oh, I'll let you crack on. All right, see you later. All right, yeah, I got the key here. See you later. Sorry, my old man.
Is that your dad?
He still I'd nicked one of his brewskis, but he didn't look happy about that.
You look like you got your hand was in the cookie jar and you got nabbed.
Yeah, I got caught red-handed, basically.
It's nice to have family to fall back on, though, Jack. That's commendable.
Well, this thing, you know, this is one of the things, you know, you learn when something that's you take for granted, when it's gone, you discover the true value of it, you know, when you get it back. So.
Aqua Chiron says Michelangelo created David from a piece of marble that had been twice discarded by other sculptors and simply chipped away what was unnecessarily a model of the most advanced technology on Earth. That sounds like yeah. Freighter Jack, I've heard many say the realm has been taken over by parasitic, demonic, evil entities. Anyway, any views?
Well, it's like we discussed earlier, isn't it? No, there's definitely, it's like we said before, like, why are we here? Some people are moving, whatever that objective end is to why we're here, like, and it surely it has to be a reconciliation of all contrary things, right? Like we said, Steve, there's beings that are moving towards, we're on the home stretch of the journey, and there's people on the outbound trip at the moment, and ones that are falling further and further into the realms of matter. And this is something Casey discussed, Steiner discussed, like fucking Hillary Clinton. Like, obviously, she's probably going to come back to Earth as one of those kitty parasites and be manipulating mice. So I don't know, man. Jeffrey's going on about Eric Dubai. Eric Dubai is old, man. He was like the original flat earther, wasn't he?
Yep. And you know, I think that everything in duality is that for a reason, because without contrast, we have nothing to measure anything by. You know, we have to have contrast to everything. And
like Stephen, you got Ohm's law where you can like calculate the voltage, current, and resistance in a circuit, in a DC circuit or AC. It's the most basic thing, Ohm's law, right? There's also a very similar, there's another experiment you can do which totally stands up to psychic rigor that proves that the Earth's not flat. Like it's an unequivocal fact. It's not fucking flat, like completely, like scientifically. So I think it's a psyop. I really think flat Earth was a psyop. I really do.
Yeah, I don't even want to go there because I get.
I know. I'm trying to debunk it. Yeah, let's not go there. It's just someone was talking about it in the chat.
It just causes dissent, and that's the purpose of it.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's part of the data overload, isn't it? It gives you another problem to figure out, and it's like it's not a problem.
It puts you off on a fork. It's your ego's way of grabbing onto something, thinking that it's the answer and that it's going to get you to the highest goal that you yearn for, which is the very thing that is repeated over and over in your face without you even knowing it. Everywhere you look, the creator is in everything. The story of the creator is in everything. In every movie, in every fairy tale, in every eye of every person. It's everywhere. You know, think about this. Did I run this by you? A black hole, not even light can escape. What does your pupil do? Your eyes. Your eyes cannot evade light. So what does that say? You know, that's the interconnection between, you know, the eyes or the pupil is the window to the soul, right? So, you know, if we're the singularities within the whole and light can't even evade our eye, but light can't even escape the black hole. So what does that say? We pull in everything. Everything we see is pulled into through light. Without light, we have no contrast. We have nothing. So light can't even escape the black hole. So what does that mean? Huh?
I don't know. It means the object's at least black. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go for a quick smoke, Steve. I'll let you entertain the chat for just 1 minute. I'll be. Is that all right? You don't mind, do you?
Looping reality. Free Press says looping. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll be back.
Looping reality. Looping reality. Now, how can a infinite creation exist within a finite boundary? What would have to happen? What mechanism in which would be to transmute spirit into energy, energy into spirit? Well, I don't think energy needs to be transmuted into spirit. I think it just becomes, goes back to it. But what constitutes spirit being molded into energy, which is the fallen state from the spirit, because spirit is everything, right? NASA in Hebrew. NASA is Hebrew for deception. Yes, we've told that you've heard this before. There's nothing outside you. It's all within. Like this, like space could be the inversion of us, right? Yes. Matter is just high density light. Yes, hard light, as Ken Wheeler would say. Pagan was also the folk in the valleys. Heathens are mountain folk. All things get twisted. Yes, they do. 4 flower petals within the 4 streams of Mount Meru. In the center, lodestone, neodymium, rare earth. Very good, Mystical. That's like the London stone. The London stone, I came across that today or yesterday. And if anybody follows CF Apps, he has passed away. He had a heart attack, and he was an excellent YouTuber, excellent truth seeker, an excellent researcher. So rest in peace, Chuck. You will be missed. But he did a video on the London stone a while back. Or no, it was Ancient Architects that just did a piece on the London stone. And it's said to have been in the center of London at its inception. And that's why London got its name, I think, because it used to be called London stone. Am I right there, Jack?
I have no idea. I'm shit at trivia.
But it's another Neolithic. Hey, what's up? Hi, love you. It's another Neolithic monument marker, or some maybe newer marker for something. Toroid, polarities, magnetic gearing, yes. But foolish and unlearned questions avoid, knowing that they do gender strife. What's that mean? As a Christian, we would call that pointless questions and waste of time. Sorry, I'm just an honest person. What do you mean? What's a pointless?
Okay, now I'm on here. It's an ancient, I'm on the official londonstone.org website. So it says it's been claimed to be a druidic altar, a Roman milestone, and the magical heart of London. It's one of London's most ancient landmarks, but most people have never heard of it. Or if they have, they've heard of one of the strange legends that have sprouted up around it. Huh. Interesting, hey?
Everybody Hoops 590 says he has all the answers over on his channel, so go check it out and give him a thumbs up, subscribe, and show him some love. Data is slow.
Oolitic limestone. It's not even that big. It's only like, yeah, it's pretty small. Well, yes. Who knows, man? Who knows?
Yeah, but the whole thing about the Benben stone Free Press brings up, the Benben stone is said to be a meteorite formed into the capstone, and that would make sense because your pyramid is capped from above, which is the ultimate understanding in the whole of our reality, I think. So yeah.
Yeah, apparently in 1450, some dude from Kent had a rebellion against King Henry VI. And his name was Jack Cade, leader of the Kentish rebellion against the corrupt government of Henry VI. And apparently he entered London and struck the stone with his sword and claimed, like the Ardcough, "This is my city. There is no one that rules the city beyond me." No, I made that bit up. He got a big too big for his boots. Oh well, obviously he was unsuccessful because the monarchy went on.
Yeah. Well, now the odd thing is I had asked Phil about this London stone just today after he posted his video, and he said, oddly enough, I've been looking into the reason why royalty is the center of royalty in the world is in Britain, or is in London there. And that's where the central bank is and everything.
Yeah, it's an ancient monument to heathen worship.
Yeah, of course they're going to say heathen worship. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the demarcation point for just another iteration of the center of all things, like the Great Pyramid is of the center of Earth's land mass, just like the center of all things, because we are the center of all things. Each one of us is a point that is the same as every other point within the whole of that light, and that's how it's such a vast. I understand how Phil, because I remember when I first started asking Phil's questions, I was just totally in the dark, pun intended, literally in the dark about, any of this. And it all just went over my head, and I seen it superficially from my perspective where I was. And now I understand more of it, not all of it, of course, but I don't know how to articulate my understanding to people. Other than through how like the Hebrew alphabet, it all lines up and brings you back to the oneness of everything. Which
I love the Hebrew alphabet, man. I had to learn that stuff when I was doing the Golden Dawn practice, and it's cool. It's cool Hebrew. It definitely speaks to you in another way. There's something quite fascinating about becoming competent with an alphabet that is different to the standard Roman alphabet. They're like I look at Arabic, it just looks really mystical and mysterious to me. Arabic, whenever I see it, definitely has and I'm sure if you understood it, like someone who grew up in the Middle East, it's probably quite mundane to them. Maybe not, I don't know. Yeah, all the definitions of the heathen just says one that doesn't believe in the God of the Abrahamic faiths. I'm sure that's not what it really. I mean, heathenism.
No, that's what being a heathen is. That's what it means to me anyway. Because or what does Gentile mean? Look that up.
Gentile. What the etymology of Gentile?
Yeah. Hi, John. Hi, MCF. Hi, Free Press. Mr. Menza, Mystical, David Castle, Jeffrey Ball. Who else was in here? There's a few more people. Sophia Rise, Lisa, hi, how are you, sweetheart? Aqua, Chiron. John, I've already mentioned you. But thanks for joining us, guys. We're just having a discussion. If you have any questions, put them all in all caps, or if you have a point you want made other than anything disrespectful, I'll read it. I'm not here to argue with anybody. I'm just here to try to get to the truth. What is it? What does Gentile mean?
Am I screen sharing?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so it's like one who is not a Jew is its primary statement. So it doesn't give context to that. It just is one that's not a Jew. So if you read but before scrolling down, like if you read that without an esoteric context, it sounds like some kind of left-wing shit. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like one who is not a Christian, a pagan. See, we were just that's what heathenism meant.
Yeah, that's why I said that's
so. But one who's not a Jew, but a Jew is. See, this is misunderstood by academia. These words clearly they're misunderstood by academia because a Jew is like an Israelite, one who's like in the enlightened state, completed the great work.
Yes, one that's next to God. Yes.
And now they're saying earlier it means the same thing as heathen, but heathen supposedly means one that doesn't follow any Abrahamic faith. That makes no sense if you compare the two terms, the etymology. There's 2 + 2 isn't equaling to 4 there. Do you know what I mean? Do you get my point here?
Yeah, I get your point. Just the descriptions or the definitions of. No, you can vacuum.
Yeah.
My wife just texted me asking me if she could vacuum.
Look, kinsman is another synonym to be a kinsman. What did Yvonne say that meant in that book? The other parts of the soul that have been split apart. That's what she said. Reuniting with your kinsman is your soul and all its fractures.
Yeah, like the fallen pieces of the first Adam. Yes.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yes. Well, that just it harkens to how the fact that we are spiritual, having a physical experience, just really profoundly enters your understanding or your psyche when everything you look at leads you to the same thought, when it's not even the same type of genre or same type of information or even
that's understanding, isn't it? That's the understanding, because you're looking at things archetypally, Steve. That's why you're seeing the same thing everywhere.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I guess that's you go through phases of that.
Yeah, but that's it's like that's why trivia really, it doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, it's good to compare data sets and stuff and compare different information to get the knowledge from the information, but you'll see.
Take it easy.
I'll stop sharing now.
Slow ride. It should be showing, isn't it? Jeffrey Ball's trying to show a channel. It's not showing? You can't post a link or what? You should be able to post that link. Huh. Ruins of old Earth. Looks interesting. We are all
Golem. Yeah,
Golem.
Let's look up Golem. See what Golem's saying. Actually, I'm gonna put word name meaning Hebrew for Golem. Because I might get a more
and I appreciate anybody's opinions, thoughts, esoteric knowledge, anything that you deem important in your journey, I respect, and I will take in any information and, not give any opinion on it or leaning either way, because I know it's as important as my understanding. So, we all get there in the end, right?
God. Okay, so Strong's Concordance, the word golem, Aramaic for unfinished vessel. Mine imperfect substance, did thine eyes see. Mine imperfect substance did thine eyes see. Psalm 139:16. Embryo, another thing has it. An embryo, an unfinished vessel.
Yeah, born in the womb of creation, and we are in the matrix, the womb for our soul.
Substance, yet being unperfect. Golem from Gallum. God, we are the golem then. We're all golem. Meet golem.
This is how a group can help each other as far as understanding certain labels that people stick on things. Because I think that's the biggest thing about religions and past doctrines and writings are they were viewed, the same things were viewed through their certain cultural lenses, which of course are even further filtered through more of a bottleneck of whoever's in charge of that cultural aspect of whatever that understanding is. So that's how things get separated so far that they become unrecognizable to each other. It's like the Tower of Babel. Let's make their languages different so they run around confused. And if you think about what that means, that's the same thing, in my opinion. So
yeah, no, definitely. No, it's a good point you make.
Yeah, we are on the yellow brick road together, just at different parts of that path. Very true. Clay is information as well. Yes. Clay is malleable, but clay is what it is. Clay makes bricks. Bricks build structure, give you proportion. That structure starts taking on a pyramidal type thing when you're putting all that discernible information together, because that's clay, and only good clay makes good bricks. So you start building your pyramid with good clay, good bricks, and eventually it comes to a point which gives you something to measure the truth against. And, whatever information comes your way, you start understanding, does it fit into the one, the one of all, or, the understanding that we are under the umbrella of one. And one for all for one is the oldest mantra known to man. And oddly enough, that was the first thing on YouTube I started slamming on my keyboard about. We're all one, people. Where we all go, or where one goes, we all go, right?
Yeah, it's very interesting. But I think as well, like on that note, I can't think of things in terms of just like one thing only without. It's like I can think as high up as like all the like most major archetypes, but beyond that, you like going higher up in the hierarchy to like the singular, to understand like the singular nature of things. I mean, I understand it, but it's like, and not only do I understand it through like my own mystical experiences that I've had, that Yeah, no,
Now, Jeffrey brings up a point where I see where he could understand where we live on a flat plane. In a non-physical, full temporal, straight spiritual, no energy involved state, you would be correct, Jeffrey. Yet,
oh well, that yeah,
through the
yeah,
dichotomy of the polarity and the rhythm therein, the magnetic field, there is no other shape other than a hyposphere or a sphere when magnetic fields are a turning. You know what I mean? Because they're at the center of that. You're right. Is the place in which it's all created, and we are the center of all things, the axis mundi, in my understanding, anyway. So yeah. And yeah, shadow work. Sophia Rice says, this is hugely about shadow work. You need to see that you are just as capable of doing dark things. Yes, we all are. And we all have that. We all have that within us. And if the structure is really big and the bricks have to be very large, you put grog in the clay to keep it from cracking. Very good. Yeah. Cube Earther, we've just been converted. There is no they, Jeffrey. We are the definers of our universes. I mean, that's what
Jeffrey's talking about. Jeffrey's talking about parasites, isn't he?
No, yeah, the they part, yeah.
The parasites. Well, wouldn't it make sense that parasites would push for egalitarianism? Because they're fucking lazy and they don't want to do their own shit. So they're like, oh, everyone's equal. Everyone has to be equal. That way I can be lazy and sponge off you lot and still get the same out of it. You know, what you put in, you get out. Bernoulli's principle. You know, the water that flows into the pipe is equal to the water flowing out the pipe. You know, it's a perfect
whether or not it's projected through a smaller point or not.
It is pretty gross, though. That whole idea I was discussing earlier, and it is disgusting. Oh, it's horrible. But
correction, Jeffrey. In space, you do not see stars. Is not quite correct.
See on that point, I don't know. I've seen loads of NASA videos where they go, oh, there were so many stars in space. And I've seen loads of NASA videos where they're like, oh, there was no stars. They were pitch black. And
you don't see stars through a camera in space.
You can only see them with a camera.
No,
without a camera. I don't know. Yeah. I've never been to space.
Now, what if it's true then that the inverse is the space that we call the space realm or the cosmos? You know. Now, wouldn't that make more sense? Because but so what am I saying? An ISS is floating around in me? No.
Oh, apparently the Chinese are building a monstrosity of a space station. They're gonna try and build some massive one. I read about that the other day.
Impressions does not count. So Jeffrey, you know this for sure?
Don't get involved too much with Jeffrey, Steve. Well, you can if you want. I don't care.
Yeah, but Maya L, even that flat magnet or square magnet still produces a hyperbolic magnetic type field around it. Yes. Funny, the space station is inner Earth space, not outer. Right.
The thing is,
the sun in space.
This is the thing.
How can you not see the sun in space?
This is what I'm starting to realize, man. Things have to. There still has to be some reference point to things of rigor, you know.
Yes, that's what physics is.
If you don't have an experiential reference point of any of these things, then it's very hard to know, oh yeah, it's this, or oh no, it's that.
Right. Have I been on the space station? No, so I guess I really can't tell you. Yeah. Right. You're right about that. Totally right about that. Romulus and Remus. Nice. How can you not see sun in space? I mean, you see it on the, oh, you're saying space doesn't exist. Because, yeah, obviously, because the picture behind me is CGI. And yeah, I get it. You got to start having, you got to cover your bases when it comes to your belief. Right. And that's what
I swear though, man, like from following astrology and the movement of the planets, clearly there's like stuff out there that we can see from Earth. You know, there's all the stars. And it, I don't know, maybe it's, who knows? I don't know. There's a data overload, definitely. The internet is overloading people with data.
It's just like the mind of a person. Think about that. All the thoughts we let in on a daily basis when we encounter our reality. We think, you know, we have these opinions of people. We have these pre-existing thoughts about certain races, you know, whether or not you want to admit it or not, we all have these preconceived notions about what our reality is. And we're going to perceive it through that preconceived notion. And, you know, we make snap judgments as we go. You know, and what happens when we do this? We can be led astray by our own thought, right? So that's.
See, here's a good point. Free Press 666 says, he says, you must know, not believe. But like, you see, a priori knowledge, there's some belief to it, but like experiential knowledge is what gives rise to knowing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the 3 top tiers of the Sephiroth, right?
Yeah. Well,
wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
Yeah, so knowledge is Darth, the hidden one.
Yeah, that's the 4th. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's true. A lot of things, like you can't really know about something if you haven't like experienced it.
Now, when you just said that, that's exactly how I feel about how the stuff I've been experiencing lately, how my path is all the synchronicities and the face of the girl and all that stuff. You know, if I hadn't experienced that, I wouldn't feel so profoundly about it right now to express it or try to articulate it to people. Now, that being said, no matter how I explain it to anybody, they're not going to see it the same way I see it. It's not going to be profound in their eye. They're not going to feel so connected to what I'm experiencing or what I'm saying is truth or my proof for the truth, you know, and there is no proving what is nothing, you know, because God is not a thing, right? Whatever God is he's not, or it's not a thing. Right? It's nothing we can tangibly touch. Yeah. What?
You said you just rhyme proof with truth.
Yeah.
You're talking about that.
I'm Dr. Seuss and I'm on the loose. So don't get your news because I'll bring you some juice.
Ken Wheeler's magic juice.
Yeah, Ken Wheeler's magic juice. What up, Robert V? Oh, I wonder if I can share some. Let's see if I do. Yeah, nice.
Hey, Steve, I'm gonna have to move to Texas. I'm gonna have to move to either Texas or Florida. Looks like they're the last 2 bastions of freedom.
That's not the puppy. Oop. Hello?
Yeah. Are you sharing the screen?
Yeah,
there it is. This is doggy.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a different photo though. Sorry, hang on.
What breed is it?
It's a blue heeler collie mix, border collie mix.
I got a border collie. It's mixed with what?
No, not that one either. What was that?
It's collie mixed with what?
It's border collie and blue heeler. They're herding dogs.
Cool, man.
Kimba, what's up, Kimba? Steve has rose-colored glasses. I had to leave and now I'm back. So did we figure out why we're here? Boris Johnstone. Boris Johnstone. Revelation is counterintelligence by John the Freemason. John the Baptist, metaphorically, the water bearer, aka Aquarian. Is it written in the stars? It is written in the stars.
That's all. I don't know, but I mean, I don't really care about Boris Johnson or Boaz Johnstone. But that is all correct, what that dude is saying, mystically. I mean, I couldn't give a damn about Boris Johnson, really. Guy's got no accountability, but he's got too many parasites in his intestines and brain, mind controlling him. I'm just going to keep this gag going, Steve, until we get bored of it and move on to the next thing.
Get going.
Yeah. You there, Steve? Your sound's gone. Are you back?
I was getting a phone call, sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, see, this Walter guy just said some people see God in everything. And that's what you were talking about earlier. Again.
I think as you get to the tip or as your understanding grows, so therefore the environment in which you're searching for that understanding or trying to discern the understanding, or you know what I mean, trying to put your pyramid together, it starts flooding you with that which is everything, which is everything, which is everything, which is everything.
Do you know what? I was thinking about moving to Corpus Christi just because the place is called Corpus Christi. I don't know what it's like, but apparently, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, Steve. I've got no idea why I'm here. Well, I know why I'm here, but I've got no idea how to go about it in terms of the mundane society that we live in.
Well, therein is the contrast to what spiritual growth needs. I think that the struggle and strife of life brings you closer to that which is true living through the revelation of death and bringing you through the struggles. Because if everything were happiness, we've said this a million times, would you even wonder if there's more? Would you, if you were content, comfortable in your life and what you're doing, think about that. The ego is built in us to help us survive from the age of 7 onward or so. I mean, without the ego, we would be swallowed up by this life or spit out the other end. And, the ego is there to keep us alive, to build, and then to make us realize that we're not getting anywhere with what we're doing. So why are we here? That is the question that everybody asks themselves eventually. Whether you ask it when you're younger, when you're a kid, when you're older, it doesn't matter. Everybody eventually asks themselves, I'm not here to go to work, to struggle, to get jabbed, to have to worry about taking a horse degut wormer, or am I? Isn't
it every time you say horse dewormer? See, I'm telling you, man. I think this. See, like, why is the world such a mess? Why are we here? Surely, all right. Let's just go with
Walter Zebra. Hang on.
No, hold on.
Walter says, no matter where you go, there you are, and that's the exact same thing as the single point source and the whole, all in one. That's the infinite and the finite existing together. Sorry.
No, I understand. I understand that, right? My point is just like, God, what was my point? I forgot what I was going to say. Right.
Sorry.
So why are we here? All right, well, you can figure out why we're not here. That's pretty obvious. what you're here not to do. You know, most of the laws are things you can't do. All the laws in the in the fucking legal system, it's all, you're not allowed to do this, you can't do that, you're not allowed to do that. There's very few laws that tell you what you have to do. It's like even the 10 commandments are like thou shalt not, you know. Like what laws tell you?
Well, there is no immutable, there is no set in stone, you got to do this or you're going to suffer this.
There's not. There really isn't, is there?
No, that's the beauty of it all, because we have the free will choice to choose whether or not we're going to go down this way or that way. And that's the only free will any of us have.
So why are we compelled to do so much stuff that is just nonsense? Oh, I don't know. I can't speak. Sorry, I can't speak for everyone else there. I can only speak for myself. I don't understand why I'm compelled to comply with such nonsense and madness. You know, I feel like that Simpsons episode of Homer's enemy, Frank Grimes. Sometimes I feel like Frank Grimes when he's like, you people are all crazy. He's like, what is this place, man?
But hey, I estimated on the thing that the meeting would last till 4:25, and my phone's about ready to run out of juice, and I'm on my phone, so I have 2% left. So when it ends, I just want everybody to know thank you for coming, and thank you for joining in on our discussion. But I have 2% left, and I'll use it all up on the discussion we're having. So if we're cut off short, love, peace, chicken grease, and thank you, Jack. But go on.
No, I enjoyed it. I didn't realize we were going to end now. I was just getting.
Well, no, I'm not going to end now. I'm going to end when my phone dies.
Oh yeah, but you got 2%, so that's
2%,
imminently.
Yes, it's imminent. Just like everybody in this physical creation, there's an imminent place for us in heaven, which is, if you're going to be in the world, you're going to be, right? I mean, you can be in the world, just don't be of it. Or is it the other way around?
Pardon?
Which is this? What is the axiom? Is it be in the world, just not of it, or be of the world, just not in it?
Yeah. Cool, man. Yeah. See, this water guy is talking about the hive mind again. There's a hive, and I'm not part of it. Why are we here? To break free from the hive, maybe?
Yeah. Well, without the hive, the individual wouldn't have anything to contrast with, right? I mean,
true. Yeah, the hive gives you the reference point of what not to be, why we're not
squaring
here.
the circle.
Yeah,
squaring the circle. You need to square the finite to define the center point in which the circle is everything. Because in a circle there are no points in which to reference from. So, what does that mean? The square is the Cartesian coordinate rectifier, which is the finite. Yet they both have the same degrees and angle, 360.
right.
That's gone already, Steve. What's gone? Oh, go to the Astrodon before they take all of the internet. Yes, some of us are. Don't follow the majority. If the majority is gonna,
Yeah,
the world
definitely.
Stage play will put on it what it takes from.
It is actually. It's a sad truth, though, isn't it? You do have to kind of go against the grain. You have to swim upstream in life, really, in terms of mysticism and esotericism. You really do have to swim upstream, because most people are on that automatic Ruach consciousness, just
trying to survive.
that's the thing, man. I still come back to this whole fucking nonsense zeitgeist. People that are aware of their spirit, doesn't matter what faith they practice or follow, whatever, they do seem immunized from it. No pun intended. I've noticed that. I really have.
Yeah.
Who
Even
knows?
if there's faith above reason.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter what happens in the world at the end of the day, does it? What are you going to do about it? Nothing. So you might as well focus on your own tribulation within, really.
Yeah, that's the only way we can change.
I'm sounding quite pessimistic here, but it really does just wear you down ultimately, doesn't it? The toil and the whatever it is you want to.
That's where perception is key.
Hmm.
Not even light can escape. Think about that. Not even light can evade our eye. Without
And
light, we would not see anything.
So here's my point, to sum it up more like articulately. It's like, shit, what was I going to say? I forgot. I had it. It was on the tip of my tongue. Oh, I had a really good way of summarizing that statement, but it's gone.
We'll find a way.
No, that's it. That was what I was saying about getting worn down and everything. That's what I was going to say. You get tired of living the lie, Steve. You get to a point where you just refuse to live a lie. You're like, no, I'm not. You don't want to play. This is the thing of being in the world, but not of the world. And I'm not just saying about the lies from political corruption and stuff like that, but the bigger lies that can go far beyond that.
My phone's gonna die.
It's like Crowley, the Book of Lies. You could argue that everything in the physical creation is a lie. You could argue that point if you want to get uber heavy metal Gnostic about it.
Physical creation is contrast for spiritual being.
That's it.
Also, the place in which to recreate the communication between God and man.
Well, here's my
The
point.
medium in which we all exist.
I'm not saying I don't want to live a lie in terms of, this is a totalitarian state, whatever. I don't mean it in that way, in a geopolitical way. Although you could, that's what ends totalitarianism anyway. People get sick of living the fantasy of a dictator, the psychotic fantasy.
I'll lead a horse to water, and while I'm there, I will feed it this brand of ivermectin paste.
Oh no, they're going to cancel your channel now. That's all good, man. But yeah, anyway, I was just saying, it's not like living the lie in terms of like living in a dictatorship. I mean, like not living a lie in terms of I don't know, you know what I'm trying to get at. The lie of creation. Yeah, Hotel California, you can check in but never leave. But you can leave. That's why we're here. We're here to leave. That's my recapitulation. Why are we here? We're here to leave. But it's all passing and transient, isn't it? Oh, is he gone? He's gone and I'm still live. All right. Well, I don't know how to end this. And I can end it through Zoom. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to get going, though. All right. I'm done here. Thanks, everyone in the chat. I'm going to have to say the goodbyes because his phone died. But yeah, peace, love, and chicken grease, as Steve would say to y'all. Till next time. Cheerio.